Hi everyone, my name is Isabel Shi, and I was a 2024 Shirane Scholar. So, some background information about the Shirane Foundation program is that you and a group of scholars get to travel around Japan, and while you do some important activities like attending meetings and tours, you also get to have some fun. Without further ado, here's a recap of my trip. Like I mentioned before, we visited a few schools ranging from elementary all the way to universities. Here, we were able to talk with the Japanese students and learn all about their lives and cultures. We even got to eat lunch with them a few times, and I can definitely say that their school lunch is better than ours in the US. We also got to visit the Chiba Institute of Technology, where we were shown the different robotics projects that the students were working on there. Since I never really had any chances to talk with students around the world, I learned a lot from them about their schools and overall lives. Along with visiting schools, we also took tours of many different museums and factories, such as the Toyota Automotive Museum and the Hiroshima Atomic Bomb Museum, and sat in on a few different important meetings. It was during these parts of the trip where we were able to learn the most about topics like the future of technology and the connection between Texas and Japan. We got to visit the Toyota power plant here in San Antonio, but the ones in Japan are a lot cooler and more fun. We also got to work on our public speaking skills through the meetings that I mentioned earlier. To move on to the more touristy part of the trip, one of my favorite things about it had to be the food. We got to eat from a lot of street food stands when shopping, but other than that, we also ate at a lot of fancy restaurants. I could clearly tell that the food we were given was very high quality, and best of all, we didn't even have to pay for it. Another thing that we spent a lot of time on during the trip was visiting temples and shrines. Being tourists and getting to shop and play was fun most of the time, but sometimes it was also nice to just get to enjoy Japanese culture. A lot of the temples have their own unique qualities as well. For example, one of them had a deer park on the outside and we got to pet and feed them. The landscape is very beautiful, but it was also fun to learn about Japan's history and the importance of all the architecture there. Finally, the last week of our trip concluded with a homestay program. We were each assigned a host family to stay with for the week, and even though I was nervous at first, it turned out that they were actually really nice. They took me to visit famous places like the Sogi Waterfall, which I fell into, a rotating sushi bar, and we even got to have a picnic with all the other host families and bake our own pizza. Overall, the trip was a very eye-opening experience since I not only got to work on my soft skills, but I also had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about Japanese culture and history throughout the trip, and I encourage you all to apply so you can do the same.